Is he frozen?
I think he
Good
is.
evening, keepers of the cash.
Yeah.
This is Dinner
Gary
Jim
B
here. And here's my man, Magic Lasso. He'll
Yes.
be joining me tonight while Gary B sits in a frozen state.
Every superhero is only as good as their best sidekick, and tonight it's all about a special sidekick. She has been with him since the very beginning, and we're talking 1938. She needs to be referred to as the first lady of DC Comics because she is. She literally is.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Tonight we have Lois Lane on the brain. That's the name of tonight's 10-1-1 edition. Welcome to it on behalf of Gary B, who decided that he was over the show. So
I think he's sick of us, Ryan.
I think he is, and he's not done with us yet either.
There's more.
Yes, for those that don't know, Gary is going to be a special guest on my channel for Fanboys Live in the Retro Review this Sunday night as we talk Rima the Jungle Girl.
Oh, look who thought out.
Now,
yeah.
Just before the show, Ryan and I were talking about computers just giving up on the most inopportune. As soon as I hit that intro, StreamYard crashed on me.
Oh.
Did the intro
but you're back.
Play?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, it played and we vamped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing
I did your classic, Gary.
Good.
We've already done this, Gary. You need to catch up. We've already done this.
All right.
We already did it.
Good evening, keepers of the cash. Joining me as always, we have Digger Jim in the corner. Jim, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I feel like I'm in Retro Rewind here.
There you go, right? All right, so I'm assuming the other two have already introduced themselves because I heard Ryan giving the spiel on what we're doing this Sunday.
Ryan was great.
We are. I was about to start in on my list of all of the Bronze Age babes I left off from Tuesday because there was still more I left off. But
yeah,
it is so hilarious how things choose to crash on you and at what particular time.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked backstage for 20 minutes with not an issue.
Correct.
Hit that live button and Schumacher goes, you know what? I need a break.
Yeah. Forget it. I'm leaving.
Right.
Well, whether you like it or not, I'm going to stay. So
there you go. Well, as we like to do, Sarah, let people know before we say hi to the audience. Who are you? Where can they find you on the YouTubes and on the IGs? And what is your channel about?
Okay, so silver-haired Bronze Age babe. That's me. You can call me that. You can call me Shebab. You can call me Sarah. I am a DC Silver and Bronze Age gal. I started collecting when I was 10 years old, and you'll see one of the first books I ever got, which is coming up here. And you can find me on the YouTube under this name. I'm under the same name on Instagram, and I have made a lot of great friends in this community, and 3 of them are right here. So thank you very much again, Gary, for inviting me to talk about my all-time favorite character, Lois Lane.
Well, absolutely. So what, like the Superman, it was like the summer of Superman, right?
Oh,
and I'm like, well,
God.
we got to focus on Lois Lane because Rachel Brosnahan's playing her. There's a lot of talk of how she's going to be. You and I discussed it. She ended up being my favorite representation of Lois Lane in live action.
You know, if you want to go back a year and see how smart Shebab and Gary are, the last time we were together, you and I were talking about the casting of Rachel Brosnahan. And we were both saying that unless they screw this up really badly, she's going to knock it out of the park. They did not screw it up, and she did.
Yeah,
So.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then I was like, you know what? I got to do a 10-1-1 with Lois Lane covers. And then there was only one person on my radar for that. As soon as I
pick me.
Exactly. One, because she's the ultimate Lois Lane fan. 2, if I chose someone else, I would have had a poison dart in the back of my neck by now. So I chose life.
Thank you, Gary.
So join us tonight. We have Unruly Simeon. Good evening, sir. Another great dude with a great collection. We have Ruby G. Calm, cool, collected. Great to see you always, Ruben. We have Mr. Chuck Hensey, who's going to be doing 4-color comic 10-1-1. 4-color comics 10-1-1 next month.
Cool.
We have Ryan saying hello to everybody. One of my all-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug. And we have Mr. Steve White. Yes, more Gremlins. One of my co-hosts with the most.
Yep.
We have Mr. I make Steve and Jim fight backstage for my own amusement. We have Mr. Mark Andrews from Canada. Good evening, Mark. Great to see you. Paul, Psychedelic Comics. And come on, no StreamYard gremlins again. And 23 Munch, good evening, sir. Another great artist in our community and a great supporter. If you guys aren't subbed to his channel, go check him out as well. And we'll keep giving everyone, like I always do, a tip of the hat as they're getting their notifications and joining us. But for now, it's all about the Babs.
Okay.
So, start us out.
Okay, Lois Lane. This pile of books is, they're just books that I absolutely love, covers that mean a lot to me. And because my collection is big and how to define it is awful. So I'm just going to start with my personal grail book, which is Lois Lane number 105. This is from 1970. And this is the first Lois Lane book I ever owned. And it was given to me back when I was about 10 years old because of my family had a cottage up in northern Michigan. Friends of the family had bequeathed me a pile of comic books. And so when it rains at your summer cottage, you've got nothing else to do. You read your comic books over and over and over and over again. And this was in that pile. And
that's where it started, huh?
And this is it. This is why I'm a DC gal. This is why I'm a Neil Adams fan, because that pile contained Neil Adams story art and some cover art and 3 Lois Lane books. But this is the one that I just kept reading over and over again. And come to find out, it is kind of a minor-ish key in her canon because it's the first appearance of the Rose and Thorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you read that, what made you connect with Lois Lane so much?
Well, she got the other fun thing about this story is she gets married for real. She really is married, and it's not to Superman. So the fact that she's in a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Chuck. Yeah. See, wedding dress.
So is that what started your wedding dress interest of Lois in a wedding dress? Was it because of this formative issue?
Not really. Just because
Okay.
I think my love of the wedding dress was when I was collecting her, started, in earnest over the years. Like, God, these wedding dresses. Oh, wedding dresses. They're funny. So, but this story is great. Rose and Thorn makes an appearance in the Lois Lane story. But the real killer app for me in the book was the Rose and Thorn introduction, origin story. So this is my grail.
Nice.
And I do have the other book that was in that pile that I love equally is this doesn't count for 1011. So,
Right.
but this book, which is 112 he turns into a tree, but I do have a higher grade copy of the
nice.
my grail. Yeah.
Nice.
So
one to admire and one to read.
exactly. And it's one of those books that if I see it out in the wild, I buy it. I don't care what the condition is, because why not?
Mhm.
Right. We all have those books, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Part of being a collector.
Yeah. So, number 2, recently I have, within the last year or so, I've started to collect Lois Lane on the cover in the Golden Age. But I decided that I could do that. I could really go broke doing that. And I don't want to go broke doing that. So I decided to limit myself to Golden Age, Lois Lane on the cover, but she cannot be a damsel in distress. She has to be doing something better than that.
She has to be a woman of action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is one that I found early on in that hunt. So this is Lois Lane,
Just Lois.
policewoman. Yeah. So I love this one because it's like, what a dull beat. Nothing ever happens around here. With Superman.
The
So
precursor to Lady Cop.
yeah,
I was just going to say that.
I know. I wondered if you'd catch that, Gary. So this was, and I have a teeny tiny funny story about this one. I had gotten a crappy cover of this, but I was like, I should at some point get the actual book. And I was at a very small comic book show and walked up to a guy who had a bunch of Golden Age, and he had this on the back wall. And so I asked to look at it. We had a marvelous conversation. I said, yeah, I'm starting this and all about Golden Age. Yeah, da, 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 da. He cut the price like 50%, and I think those small shows, if you chat people up, if you're friendly, if you're nice to them, they will be kind to you. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So this book itself has a very warm, fuzzy feeling for me, just because I remember the guy who I had that conversation with. And so
am I the only one that's
going
headlocking that dude until he said 50% off?
No. He knew it was going to a good home, and like somebody was going to appreciate it.
I don't.
Surprised.
Yeah, I don't flip books. I don't do any of that.
But some of those people really,
I was going to say, some of those collectors, that's important to them, that it's going to someone who will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although I hear there's some sellers that won't sell you treasuries anymore.
He's saying that because I cut mine up to make the diorama. I don't know why, because look, you can do this with the diorama on the back of the Treasury edition.
And that's no facsimile.
That was the real deal. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm not for the faint of heart. Seriously, I know. I'm sorry.
It looks beautiful, but I'm like,
but are you crazy?
Fuck.
You should see her make sealskin boots.
I know.
God, yeah.
But that's a great. I never saw that Lois Lane.
Well, and and now I'm thinking I should display, because I don't know about you, but my display, I have two display areas. I have up in my office here, and I also have a comic book room, and I'm always fiddling with what's in the rotating gallery. And now I'm thinking that I should make a little set with this and the policewoman books. Lady Cop.
Yeah.
Lady Cop. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, I'll make a little note of that.
Oh, yeah. Mark, go to her channel. She has a video up of her cutting it out for all people, Jackson Roykirk.
Yeah, if you really want to see something terrible, go to my shorts section. I put up a short this week of me mangling that Batman treasury so that I could make the diorama.
But when I was watching it, you were doing such, like, I'm like, she is just cutting straight. Look at her; she's done this a few times. How many books have died?
I'm good. How many books have been destroyed?
I'm good with it was actually a box cutter. It's not even an X-Acto knife. I mean business. I don't mess around on this stuff. All right. So next up is a Silver Age gem, where Lois Lane is protecting Superman.
Oh, wow.
This is from, God, I don't know. It's still 10 cents, so I'm not sure what year. But this costume is a very famous one there are 2 or 3 stories with her in this costume. They get reprinted pretty regularly. And also, she says, pulling up a toy, which I have 2 of these, but this one is still in the box. So, yeah.
Nice.
So
I've never seen that toy.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah.
So did she have a super name with that costume?
I can't remember because I'm old. So
what issue is it?
It's not Superwoman. This is Action Comics 274. So
I'm on it.
Someone can look up and find it. But
now, is this part of 2 or is this 3?
This is 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it it looks like it says they reverse superpowers. So like he doesn't have any and she has all his?
That could be. Relax, Superman. It does say let Superwoman handle the duties. Okay. You're right, I'm wrong. And
I like the green costume though.
The poor dear, what a blow to his pride. Now that he's just an ordinary man and his mighty powers have been transferred to me.
But it's funny, she's the color of kryptonite when she has his powers, right? Or you think that was
True that.
Probably
True
not.
that. Yeah. So
it's interesting how they did that color combination there.
Yeah. And
that toy is wonderful.
how smart are they to come up with this? I mean, this little.
Mhm.
Now, when did that toy come out, Sarah?
Let's see. Unknown.
Looks like the 80s, maybe.
Yeah, it has that feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I come to all this stuff super late. You have to understand that, like most collectors, I went in and out of collecting.
Sure.
So I was hot and heavy in junior high and a little bit into high school, dropped off in college. Then I got some more money, and then I would come back, and then I'd leave. And it wasn't until about 20 years ago, my partner actually worked for eBay in the collectibles group. And so she was working with comic book sellers.
Oh.
And I didn't get a deal on anything. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. But I got permission to buy stuff from some of her sellers. Like she worked with Metropolis
Man,
Comics.
you should have had a timeout corner for her for no
Yeah. What good was she?
I know.
I need some 20% off there, honey.
I know.
Well, for those of you hunting for it, you can get this typically between $20 and $25. Not bad.
Okay.
That's
Not
not bad.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
I'm not seeing what year it came out, but
I don't think I paid that much for it. I guess I'm making money on this. So yeah, my investing skills. But yeah, so I basically was helping her out by, she's like, oh, the guys at Sparkle City Comics are trying a new system. Once you order some stuff, see how it works and blah, blah, blah. So I just was I've been on a tear for the last 20 years because I've building the comic book collection I always wanted when I was 14 years old. And so that's what my collecting is. And just when I think I'm done, I'm never done. I'm never done. It doesn't end. And we'll get to that later. So
that's one of the first things we do when we grow up and we get it back into this hobby, right? Is you get the things you wanted that you couldn't get when you were young.
Exactly. And it's just such a thrill. And what they say, you're only young once, but you can always be mature. So I'm just reliving a childhood, and I tell you, for an old broad in her 60s, it's I'm having a ball with it.
Now, and isn't it the best? When you get these things and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have this. I never thought I'd have it, because you couldn't fathom owning it as a child,
Oh no. And the other thing was seeing the house ads in the books.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I was like, well, by the time particularly that original pile, by the time I saw those house ads, the book was like 2 or 3 years old, so I was never going to get it. You know what I mean? So, and I still remember those house ads, and there are a couple books in my collection where I was like, I can finally go get that book. So yeah. So next time I hit Parade, speaking of age, this one is a particular favorite. This is Lois Lane number 25.
Ooh.
And it's a Kurt Schaffenberger cover. Kurt did the art for Lois in the 60s. And he really is the preeminent artist for not only covers, but also story art. And I've said before that I think the reason I love Schaffenberger so much is because you'll see Superman is just a little out of proportion. Like his neck's a little thick and his body's looking a little funny. But Lois is always so divine. You know what I mean? Everything about her is very classy and very sharp and very beautiful. And even though the stories sometimes were not as kind to her, the artist loved her. Mm-hmm. And I think that reflected in partly the popularity of the character, because people love this book. I think for a time was the second or third best-selling book DC had. The Lois Lane thing. So yeah, but the reason this book, I love this and decided to get a high grade copy, is because it was on the newsstands the month I was born.
Oh, it's your birthday book.
It's my birthday book in 1961. So in addition to it just being funny and pretty, and I just love it. The fact that this cover that I really like happened to be my birthday book. You know, I had to get it. So.
Yeah.
And a Chronic Comic did some birthday book edition on the show, but you know his books were on the shelf next to Fire.
Oh my God.
That's just for Joe when he watches the rewind.
I was just gonna say, and
Sarah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got to ask you. We all have our favorite. Like you led with your favorite Lois Lane story, but you know, like Captain Marvel is one of my favorites. Spider Woman's another. You always have a story that you read. You're like they are not treating them right at all. Like Avengers 200 for Captain Marvel, like we were discussing. Is there a particular story where you just thought they did Lois wrong, and you were just like these jerks? I can't believe they wrote that.
That comes to mind.
That's pretty good then.
Yeah, you know, I have a very open-hearted position on Lois Lane, particularly in the Silver and the Bronze Age. You know, a lot of people say, well, all she did was fall off of buildings and wait for Superman to rescue her, and all she wanted was to marry him. How boring. Number one, she, in the original books in the Golden Age,
right.
Like I think it was the second or third issue of Superman that she was in. She made it really clear she understood that that Clark Kent was probably Superman.
Right? Yeah,
Lois she knew it right away.
Yeah. She's not stupid.
She knew it right away, and so the whole notion of her, Superman's super dickery to her in the Silver Age of like tricking her, and it's all because she was close to proving that he was Clark Kent and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
My other feeling about her wanting to get married to Superman is that in her heart of hearts, she knew that there was no other man in the entire universe, galaxy, whatever, that would just bore her to death. It was going to be this guy. You know what I mean? She's like, this guy will keep me interested. This guy will, we will have a life together that is wonderful and fun. And in fact, Ryan and I did a retro review about a month or so ago about two stories from the early Bronze Age where Lois Lane leaves and tries to start another life. And yes, she misses him, but what was great in the story, Ryan, I think you remember that, where Superman missed her.
Yeah,
and he was bored. He was bored without her. Well, so yeah, that's why I don't have
as a Marvel guy, you know, whenever I thought of DC Comics, you know, you got your Holy Trinity that you think of, right? But Lois Lane was always in the top five people you think of when you think of DC Comics, because she's always been that important to the history of DC in the books.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and it's
a Superman without Lois really isn't a complete Superman.
No.
I tell you what, it would be interesting to do a study about awareness levels around the world when you say Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even versus Diana Prince. Now everyone knows Wonder Woman.
Yep.
But do they know that? You know what I mean? So
right.
I get it.
And the Lois Lane character to me is so central and core to Superman because truth, justice, the American way. She's the truth part of that.
Right.
Her journalism is about the truth part. And he's about the justice, you know, he's a fireman, you know, he comes and he like does stuff to, you know, fix things. And she's often telling him, finding out the facts and telling him, here's what's going on. Let's go solve it. So yeah.
Well, in one of the parts while we're talking about her for a second that I thought Rachel Brosnahan and the script really nailed in the movie was when she interviewed Clark as Superman. As soon as she had that, she did a real interview. She didn't baby coat it for him. She asked him the hard questions, and she put it in his face. You know, and you could see the shock on him. Like, you would ask me that?
I used to, when I had a job, I was in public relations, and so I used to be interviewed by journalists, and that scene made me just squirm because it's like, oh God, I felt like this before. This is like, stop asking me questions.
And that was like one of the strongest scenes in the movie for me.
Oh
For
yeah,
both the actors.
right.
But I love that it also harkened back to Christopher Reeves and Margot Kidder's interview scene for me when I was watching it. I'm like, it has shades of that. And you think back to that, she is so taken with this man. You know, at one point she says, "Do you like pink?"
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know what she's talking about. So, and she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, very flirty. That's, I think, filmmakers, storytellers are right to make them flirty. And so it kind of makes up for the Silver Age where he was, you know, just kind of, he found her to be a pest.
But I'll tell you that story you were talking about that we retro reviewed. She is so ticked off at him. She's even ripping part of her trade dress down. She's ripping the girlfriend part down,
off
you know,
the
and
comic
she's
book.
off the comic book cover.
Wow.
She is over it.
She's over it.
Yes.
It's so bad that she even changes her name. I can't remember.
She does, and moves to Florida.
And moves to Florida.
All right, then number 5, I guess.
Number 5, we are up to, this is one of my all-time favorite covers. This is Action Comics number 438. Lois, what happened to you? Why are you trying to kill me? It's a monster.
She like hulked out on him is what she did. You know, that's one of the, and I'm going to step in here. That is one of the first DC books I remember getting.
Oh, great.
I mean, one of the same type scenario, there were boys next door that were older than I was, and they just said, here's a stack of books. And that was like, I think one of 2 DC books that were in it, because most of them were Marvel.
Yeah.
And I remember reading it going, man, he's getting beat up by his girlfriend.
Right.
Like, oh, man.
Well, and to me, this is kind of a classic era of Bronze Age comic with the trade dress on there and the 20 cents and the beginning of the Stars Spangled Banner thingy there, you know, it's great. And this story is actually a lot of fun. And the reason she's so angry is because of basically he gave Lois substandard jewelry. So it's just a good idea, guys, that, you know, if you're going to give your girlfriend a present, make sure it's nice jewelry, not something that's tacky, because look what can happen.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
But a great action cover.
Yeah, it's just funny, and it's one of those ones that I kind of keep my eye peeled for if there's a slabbed higher grade one of it, just because I think it looks cool, you know. But so that's a favorite. And Chuck Hennessy, you'll be happy. Look, another wedding dress. Now this.
I know about this.
This one is very special to me because it is the Brazilian edition. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yes.
Ryan knows this because Ryan AOK'd it to me.
So
just looking because it says Miriam Lane.
It says Miriam Lane and Jimmy Olsen. Ryan, why don't you take away how
okay, I don't want to jump in your spot, but
no,
Gary,
go for it.
Gary, you know that we had Andre on the show when I did a Brazilian edition 1011. So my friend Andre in Brazil, I went to him and I said, I need you to find me a Miriam Lane and I need her in a wedding dress. And he said, that's not going to be easy. I said, I just need you to try. And he said, well, what do you need this for? I said, I'm not even keeping it. I'm giving it away. I said, she has to have this for her collection. She didn't ask me to ask you. I'm asking you because I want to surprise her. So, time went on and like I would check in with him about it every 4 months for over a year. And then one day he messages me and he goes, I have it. Look. And he goes, it's in my hand. And I'm like, yes. And there's a video on my channel where I'm opening up an AOK from him. And then you see me get to this one part and I say, I can't show this book because it's not for me. It's going to someone else. And it's that book. And I send it to Sarah.
Nice.
And he has fallen in love with Sara, which is so easy to do when you watch her channel. And
he's now my friend Andre too.
yes, absolutely. So that's how that book came to be. But you definitely needed Miriam Lean in your collection.
Well, and it's a beautiful copy of it, by the way. I mean, it's in beautiful condition, and it hits all the marks. And it's a wedding dress, and it's from the nice, early Bronze Age.
I was gonna say that cover is clean.
Yeah,
it is nice. It's sweet. So I kept all the notes and all this stuff. So Ryan, in front of everybody, thank you, because this is a very special part of my Lois Lane collection. So
I'm glad I wanted it. I knew that that's where it belonged, but I couldn't have done it without Andre. So to Andre, who I know will be watching this in the rewind, but to Andre, thank you for helping me help Sara.
Yeah.
And that's what this community is about. He didn't know you at all.
Nope.
But he knew that you meant something to me. And then he understood why once he watched you opening it. And so we'll get you two on a stream together sometime.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we'll get you on together sometime.
That would be good. Yeah. So this is what I mean about this community. My God, I started doing videos 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, oh, how tough could it be? And I thought it would be fun. I knew I was having fun doing it. What I didn't realize is that you actually meet people who share your interests to an extent, because we're all older now,
Right.
and we are secure in our love of this hobby, as opposed to when we were kids, when it was like, oh God, don't.
Yeah, when it was a taboo thing.
I do not tell anybody in my high school that I collect comic books. Yeah. So yeah, it's great. And Andre, if you're watching, thank you again. All right, moving on. Next issue. They used to do. There are a couple Lois Lane one shots.
Oh,
and
wow.
This one came
What
out.
a nice cover.
Yeah. This came out in she says 2014, and it's just one issue. And it's an interesting story, an allegory about drug abuse, but it's handled so perfectly that you don't have to look at it as like, kind of a heavy, deep, and real social commentary piece. It features Lois and her sister Lucy, and Lucy is the one with the drug problem, and those monsters represent what happens to you when you take drugs. But it's not heavy-handed at all, and the art is fun, and Superman makes one appearance, so this isn't about him at all, and which is really fun. And it's kind of a shame that this didn't really kick off into anything else for her at this time, but it's a great book. It really.
Now, does your sister ever? Did she continue popping up in anything, or was she kind of like just once and that's it?
Oh, I think she's popped up before. I think maybe in my next one she might make an appearance, but again, I'm old and I futz out. But
so with the jump between, you read so much Silver and Bronze Lois Lane, and then you jump into a modern Lois Lane, was that an adjustment for you?
Not really, because they were the current people have done a good job of what I would have done, which is, well, let's talk about the truth part and what her superpower is journalism. And what can that do? And her workaholism and how that affects a lot of parts of her life, and this kind of touches on that too.
Right.
Relative to her relationship with her sister. So
who is that artist?
Who is it?
And Chuck is asking, didn't she date Jimmy?
You mean Lucy?
Lucy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she did in the Bronze Age. And
okay, so she was around a little bit more.
Yeah, she was. And she had died, but then she didn't. And,
Lucy was in the Supergirl movie with Helen Slater.
Okay, art. Marguerite Bennett wrote this. and the art is, oh God, Emanuelo Lupacino, Megan Hetrick, somebody Neves. I'm having trouble reading it because it's dark, but
Right.
yeah, but
That's just,
it's really it's good. It's kind of interesting. So recommend. I mean, if you find it in the dollar bin, don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
So, and the other one that I found recently and really enjoy, now it's a series, it's the Event Leviathan. And this is the only issue that has Lois Lane on the cover, which is why I'm showing it.
Right.
The trade paperback, I got it. And the story is fantastic because it's mostly a Lois Lane story. And she uses journalism as the superpower. So she's really kind of at the heart of this. And I liked it a lot. I really did. So I'm a big fan of Event Leviathan.
Well, Lois's drive was always kind of her superpower, her drive and her brains.
Yeah. Very as Superman in the Silver and Bronze Age. God, you're so curious. You're just so nosy. Da, 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 da. It's like, yeah, well, it pays off. This is that's why I do this stuff, because it's my job. So I would highly recommend like the whole series of Event Leviathan, which feeds into my next book, which
I'm writing this down because
okay.
I just, first of all, I love the art on the previous book, and I already looked it up on eBay. I'm like, oh yeah, I can afford that. That's
okay.
$1 bin. Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's $1, right? I mean, it's a nothing burger. And look for a used copy of the Event Leviathan trade. And so Event Leviathan takes place, I think, at the same time in 2016 that the Lois Lane maxi series came out. And so there are a couple issues of this 12-issue run that referred to something Event Leviathan. Now, I read this first, so I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. Then I read this. It's like, oh, now I get what they're talking about. So
that would drive me nuts.
Luckily, you didn't have to know it to appreciate this story. But this book, 12 issues, they had A covers and B covers. I've got this one signed by the artist Mike Perkins. So he did cover arts for the A books and then the interior art, which is beautiful. And this whole series is really Greg Rucka commenting on the issues of immigration. And it came out during the first Trump administration. And so her, how she deals with the White House at the time, how enemy of the people is a thing that was going on at the time. This really reflects that. But the immigration stuff is about other worlds, other worlds, seeping through and coming through.
Right, yeah, an allegory.
Yeah, it's a great allegory. And this whole book is helmed by women. The Question is basically her co-star in this, Renee Montoya. And I highly recommend it. It's a great read. And the art is beautiful. And
I like how serious she is on the cover, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is Lois Lane badass. I really...
Access revoked.
Yeah, I really think I just got a big kick out of it.
Now, are you going to try to get a Rachel Brosnahan signature on a Lois book now?
I was bidding on a Rachel Brosnahan signature on a one of these. A Funko, but I didn't get it. I was like, oh, I should have been. But I definitely am going to be on the hunt for a Rachel Brosnahan signature on something. Nice. So that's that book. And then finally on the 10, going back to signatures and another wedding dress. There we go. Okay, so this is Lois Lane number 79. Neil Adams did about 10 Lois Lane covers, late 60s, early 70s. The reason this one is special to me is because it's the first book that he drew a Superman character.
Oh, wow.
The same month, he also drew Superman on Action Comics. But I think this one kind of hit the newsstands a week before or something. This slab is, it's signed by Neil Adams. And the reason you have his little face up there is because this is from his personal collection.
Oh, wow.
So after he had passed, his family was looking at a lot of his. So I guess let me back up a little bit. According to his daughter, Chris, when he was in the hospital, he would be like bored out of his mind. And he's like, well, bring me some books to sign, you know. So she would bring grocery bags full of his old comic books. And so he would sign them and they would sit there and laugh and have a high old time about the funny covers and what they're saying and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, for any of us who have had to deal with a sick parent, you know, you're looking for any port in the storm, right?
Right.
To, like, you know, keep people happy and kill time in the hospital. So
yeah, just take their mind off things.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that part of it I really connect to. But so, and because I'm such a Neil Adams fan, so after he passed, they had slabbed a bunch of the books and created that little icon for the from the collection of Neil.
Wow,
Neil
I had
Adams.
no idea.
Yeah,
There's
so,
only, I mean, there's not, I want to say it's only like a couple, like George Perez, Neil, and maybe Stan. And that might be it that CGC's done that for.
to make that thing. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. This is the one slab I could afford. I mean, they're not dumb, you know what I mean? So, but it's worth every penny to me because it ticks all the boxes for me. It's Lois Lane, it's Neil Adams, she's in a wedding dress. And by the way, this story is hysterical because the hooded guy that she's marrying, she's becoming a sister wife.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
So
he looks like the
part of the fun of Lois Lane in this era is that they're fun. They're funny.
Yeah.
This isn't
Zany,
heavy,
huh?
deep, and real. It's just a goof. You know,
Right.
it's just a goof.
Straight up funny book.
Straight up funny book. Straight up.
Nice.
So yeah, this is a real special part of the Shebab.
What a collection piece, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
a
love
Neil
it.
Adams pedigree, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So,
It's an investment.
yeah, exactly.
It's how you explain it. It's an
Yeah,
investment.
that's the ticket.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I say to my, it's for my niece and my nephew at some point when I croak, and they have to sell it. Whatever.
But if they sell it, I'm going to come back and hunt them.
I know I will kill you, but you know,
The trade-offs.
Go ahead. Whatever. So I'm up to my personal story, my spec book, and
Yep.
I'm wondering, I want to do my spec book first.
Go ahead. I was going to say
Okay.
you could do those in any order you want.
Okay, good, because the personal story is going to take a little longer. But the spec book, we're back to Neil Adams, and this is Lois Lane number 128.
Oh man.
And this is this is also Neil Adams cover, I think. But the reason I'm specking on it is because the movie was so successful and people love Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet. And I understand, I read today that James Gunn's writing the script for, Superman 2.
Number 2.
I have to believe that there's some kind of formal wedding thing that's going to come along for those two characters. And so that's why I just think they're going to get married. And if they do, you need this book.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like, but looking at that cover, I'd never seen that cover before. So clearly George Perez took his inspiration for his famous cover from that cover.
Yeah,
Could
Crisis
be.
7.
For the
Yeah.
Crisis, yeah.
Yeah, he's holding Supergirl's body.
Yeah, could very well be.
Yeah.
Well, and there is sort of a personal story with this. Actually, there is. My Wi-Fi hotspot gave this to me as a wedding present. So she was. That's when she was working at eBay, and she was over at Metropolis in New York at Metropolis Comics. And
Well, that'll get you out of the timeout corner.
right.
Yeah.
So
There you go. Redemption.
yeah. So there we go. So yeah, I'm spec on
What a thoughtful
this.
gift from her, though.
You know what? She doesn't really follow comic books, but she has been so supportive of this really strange hobby that we have. You know what I mean?
Right.
She really, and because she worked at eBay, she knows a lot, about collectibles and that kind of thing. So she's super supportive of it. And a few years back, we had done some renovation to our house. We had to dig up our basement as part of it. And I said at one point, it's like, well, when we get the basement back, can I turn it into a comic book room? And she said, yeah, I'll help you hang shelves. So,
Nice.
I luck out. I am one lucky comic book collector. So,
Right.
so yeah. So Lois Lane. So that's 4, Chuck. I think that's 4. So
Yeah, he said it. 4.
okay, good. All right.
He's keeping count.
Okay. All right. And finally,
Now
personal.
this says, phew, thank goodness I got that book.
Yeah.
So this personal story kind of encompasses how not only I collect, but I think how a lot of other people collect, the phases that we go through. First and foremost, so the book is Lois Lane number 84, Superman, tell him it's me, blah, blah. This is women in prison. I mean, come on, who can't love that, right?
Right. And that was a whole theme in the 70s with exploitation movies.
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
Cell Block and Prisoner
Right.
Cell Block H. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. All over.
I was watching them for the story content.
I'm
Yes.
sure you were.
I know.
Me
It was
too.
It's really wrapped up in those stories.
yeah, social commentary. Yeah, really. It's a healthy interest in our penal system. Yeah, so this is a Neil Adams cover, and this is one I got when I was building the collection about 20 years ago. And it's sort of ratty, but I liked it. In fact, I liked it. Yeah, it's a great cover. And then because the Wi-Fi hotspot was working at eBay, I think she said, hey, would you check out Sparkle City and see if so I bought this raw. They thought it was a 9.0. So I was sending stuff to CGC just because I was curious, like
Right.
how does it work? What, so it came back in 8.5 and I'm like, well, that's great. Okay. I like it. It's pretty. And it presents really well. So
It does.
neat. Well, then, not long ago, I went on the eBay and someone had this book where they had drawn.
Obviously, she's been in there for a while.
Yeah.
Superman's got a mustache.
A mustache. The guard is a beard.
Yeah.
She's got a lot more hair and a beauty mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I had
And
to
some
have
full
that,
lips.
right?
Yeah.
I had to have that. So
You should get that graded.
it. Oh my God.
Alternate cover.
Maybe I
yeah.
should.
That's
Variant
hilarious.
edition.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, it's in fact, I wish it were even worse. Then I really would get a grade.
Oh my God.
So, okay, so that went into the collection, but I still wasn't done because the good folks at the Neil Adams place put up ungraded books from his personal collection.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
I was able to snag this book from his personal collection signed.
Wow.
So yes, thank you. I mean, literally, I was like, claim. Do not sell that to anyone but me. Now, I'm still not done.
Oh my God.
So finally, what do you do after you get crap books? You get higher grade books, you get signed books, you get funny books. you need original art. So I won an auction at Heritage, and I got this page, which is from this issue. And I had to have it because number one, it's from that book. And also it's not a splash page. It's not a cover. So it's very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But what I had to have it because it has Lois Lane, obviously right there.
Right.
She's in every panel in the book.
That should
in
be
the page.
Expensive page because she's in every panel.
I don't think people tweaked to it because I think there maybe two of us were bidding on it, and I was surprised that I was going to pay anything, quite frankly, but I was surprised at what a value it turned out to be. So this, and it's the ladies in prison and griping about the food.
Now you need Action Comics blank to have a modern artist do a sketch cover of that cover.
Oh man.
Well, but wait. But wait, there's more. So I don't have it yet, but I have gotten to know and had some commissions done by Neil Adams' daughter, Zia, who is a really fantastic artist. And she had started a series of voodoo doll superhero characters.
Oh.
That I thought were just charming and funny and hysterical. And they made me laugh and smile. It's like, well, I need to laugh and smile. So I need that. So it occurred to me, I wonder if I can commission her to take a cover that her dad did, but remake it in voodoo doll art. Oh. And so I've done two of them. One of them is downstairs, and I didn't rip it off the wall. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. So,
oh, nice!
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hysterical. With their little legs and their little arms and all that stuff. So I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to work with Zia Adams to have her. I'm going to commission her to voodoo
that cover,
right? Do you think I need to? Because
I think so, but I think you need to go. I think you need one more though, because I had an idea.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez.
All right.
Yes.
The idea is that cover. Yeah. You have a cop, Superman, Lois in the middle. What if you had that cover, Lois in the middle, lady cop on the left, Superwoman on the right, and you get an all-lady cover.
Oh,
yeah.
Did I just spend your money?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's going to be worth everything. Oh my God.
Now, how great would that cover be, though?
That
lady
would
cop,
be great.
Lois Lane and Supergirl.
Oh, Gary.
Well, I'll give you something for free. How about this? I'll give you a name for this little collection of just this cover. These are your nesting doll covers.
I love it. That's perfect. Yeah.
Because it literally was like a nesting doll. You kept going.
And going and going.
Yeah, I loved it.
I learned it from you, Mark Andrews.
Well, I kept calling it the collection within the collection, but I like nesting doll better,
yeah, it's your nesting doll.
Yeah. So
but I'm like, how is Sarah not thought of an all-female cover with that?
How have I not thought about that?
Superwoman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I need? I need an artist. And
really now. See, I got you thinking now, though, don't I?
Well, listen, it's like everything else with comic books. You chase stuff, right? You're always chasing.
You need something to hunt.
I'm always on the hunt and always looking for something to add into the collection. So yeah, this Lois Lane thing, like I say, I am so typical of the comic book collector species. You start at a young age, you collect 10 years before you start reading, 10 years after you start reading. So your collection is generally a 20-year span, unless you're Ryan, and then you just buy everything. But a lot of people just do that. And then, after the books, you get some higher grade books, you might get some signed books, and then you find yourself at heritage auctions looking at art. Yeah, but it has been such a joy. It is one of the biggest passions I've had my whole life. And I just love that I am of the age that I can fully appreciate it and just embrace it. You know, just absolutely embrace this stuff.
But you know what the cool thing is about our age now too? Is that even when you get stuff you had when you were young and you loved it when you were young, you still love it in the same way, but you also love it in a new way because there's more things you get out of it when you're older.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
So you get a couple different ways to love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It is the gift that keeps on giving, you know? And so
If
Sarah,
you get
question.
that cover made, you need to share it with me first so I can see it.
absolutely. You don't draw, do you?
No.
Because
I draw like a caveman.
okay.
So Sarah, question for you.
Yes, sir.
From someone that has, obviously I am a Shebab fan. So I know your origins in more detail even than you went in tonight, which was fascinating. Although I still learned stuff about you tonight. But for those that don't know, you weren't going to be a Superman collector originally. So my question for you is, how do you think your collecting would have changed had you not gotten those Superman comics and got the Batman ones you ordered?
Yeah, the short there, I had the stack of comics, the hand-me-overs. Then I was ordering back issues from the place in Passaic, New Jersey, the little ads in the back of the book. And I had originally wanted some Batman books, but what came instead were 10 Superman books. I was like, But then I read them and I loved them. I just absolutely loved them. And I really fell in love with, Clark and Superman and Lois and Jimmy and the Daily Planet and Morgan Edge and the whole thing. I think it probably would have still continued the way it did. See, Lois Lane was a separate thing for me because, her books, I just thought of her books as very different than the Superman thing. Mm-hmm. So I probably would have been chasing down more Batman books, rather than Superman at the time, but I probably would have gotten to Superman eventually. So, when I was collecting in high school, college, right out of college, I was building a Superman collection. So my Superman run goes from basically it's the Silver Age, from 1956 through, mine's through about 1982. So every book in Superman. And
you got a new sub right there.
There you go.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Good.
Yay. I appreciate it. I'm very honored. Thank you.
Nate,
awesome.
You need to watch this on the rewind. It is 100%
You saw
in your
some
wheelhouse.
great stuff, yeah.
So yeah, I'd have gotten there. I think I would have gotten there.
You must have loved World's Finest though, with both of them in it.
I wanted to love it, and I had a bunch of them, but it just wasn't the same thing because they were from such different worlds. I loved Batman because it was a dark and stormy night. Right. And I loved Superman because he was in bright and sunny Metropolis. Mm-hmm. And so World's Finest, they were not in dark and stormy nights. They were either in space or in sunshine. You know what I mean? And so it just didn't mesh for me very well. So yeah, you would think, but and I'll show you the Batman book that was super special to me is this one. This is the first Batman book I bought off the spinner rack myself. Wow. So this is a higher grade version of it, but nonetheless. So this is exactly what appealed to me as a kid about Batman. If you have ghosts, if you have dark, if you are, it's a little scary and creaky houses and that stuff, I am all over that as a kid. But it's a very different vibe than Superman. So
one thing that I think is worth pointing out that you really don't hear people talk about, and it's definitely a fact, but Lois Lane had her own comic book series, and she was published for over 25 consecutive years. That's a long time, because when her series came to an end, it didn't get canceled. Her series, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, and the Supergirl series all merged into one title called Superman Family.
Yep.
And then when that wrapped up, she did another year as backups in Supergirl Volume 2.
Yeah.
For 12 issues. So, but this is over 25 years of continuous publication this character's had as a headliner in almost all of it.
And a non-superhero character in a superhero world.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You know, she grounds him.
Yeah.
In all ways you can consider, which is one of the reasons I got all the, the recent books of Superman where she turned into Superwoman for a bit. And and the same thing with what's the series that everyone loves that I don't really care about, where she turns into Superwoman for a little bit, and but they don't do anything with her. There's nothing. She just so to me, having her as a costumed, powered character defeats the whole purpose of having a Lois Lane.
And it takes the focus off what she should be.
Yeah. If there wouldn't be a him if it wasn't for her, and she grounds him in every aspect. And the fact that over the decades, there's a really great book, by the way, I brought out, that if anyone is truly interested in more about Lois Lane, Tim Handley wrote this investigating Lois Lane. I
love the silhouette cover.
Yeah. He does a really nice job of going through the history of this character, and it's a fun book if anyone is wanting more. But she is, if she doesn't ground him, who knows what he could be? You know what I mean?
Right.
So and I also think she's great. She's a great proxy for the rest of us who do not wear costumes and, you know what I mean, fly around. You know, so we the readers, I think, really connect with her in a really visceral and important way.
Well, and she's also a part of his humanity.
Totally. Absolutely. She's a terrific character. There's a lot to collect with her, and a lot of different ways you can go with Lois Lane. And I like them all. I haven't met a Lois Lane I don't really like. And with the one I like the least is the most recent one where she was a Superwoman. But she lost the powers, and now she's back where she belongs, which is in the newsroom. So there you go. And Hall Comics, I would love to talk with you, Silver Age with you. That would be
I've always hated that trope in comics where they got to give the boyfriend or girlfriend powers to go with the other one.
It's nuts.
I've always hated that trope.
Right. They did that with Mary Jane for a bit there, and
I'll tell you that Steve Trevor from my little world that didn't really happen to him. Not a whole lot.
Well, they kept killing him though.
yeah, they've killed him multiple times. But I will say, I talk about over 25 years of Lois Lane publication. You know how many comic books Steve Trevor has gotten as a headliner? One. In over 80 years, he's only had one issue. One issue. Not even one series. One issue. A one-shot.
No kidding.
And that's
it called Steve Trevor?
It's called Wonder Woman ... Steve Trevor.
Lois wins.
By far.
And here's the other thing I'll leave you with, that the only thing that I wish, what I'd like to see a good writer attempt is to give Lois Lane a daughter. They've always had sons.
Yep.
And I think I would be really curious to see what
then
her relationship with a daughter would be.
She could name her Miriam and come
Miriam Lane. Thank you. Miriam. There we go.
Yep.
excellent.
I don't know.
and all
You're
the
really
cool
good
kids-
at this, Gary.
and all the cool kids could just call her Miri, and it sounds like a cool modern name as well.
Oh my God. You know what, DC? These ideas are free. If just watch our show.
Come and
Watch
get
these
'em.
shows. Come and get them.
Right.
Well, you picked some fantastic books tonight, and I
thank
certainly
you.
really enjoyed what you picked out to share with us and the stories that went with it. So kudos to you. How tough of a job was it for you? Because I was talking the other night when I was on that I said I had difficulty. How tough was it for you?
It was the last 2 books that just were like in, out, in, out. I wanted to cover a little more. I could talk all night about just 10 books from the Lois Lane run itself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I decided to kind of cover the waterfront.
But I already know what I want you to do on your next appearance.
Which is, I love this.
Super Dickory covers.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
yes, sir, Bob. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm on
So
it.
start picking them out.
I got it. Super Dickory. You got
Yeah.
it, brother. Wonderful. Well, Gary, thanks again. Any chance to talk about comic books on the internet, I'm there. But to talk about Lois Lane, it
had to be you, Sarah.
Thank you. I really appreciate
And-
it. I really do.
I think I can speak for all 3 of us where this was just 100% an absolute joy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, it
Thank you.
was.
All right, well, let's do like we do at this time of the show. Let's go around and see what everyone's got going on. Ooh, me English. Good. I'm just coming back out already. Ryan, what's going on with you, sir? We'll start with you.
Currently on my channel is my weekly back issue of the week. It's on Galactus. Since he looked pretty good in a movie that I was watching a week
Yeah, he
ago
did.
tonight, and he's got an amazing popcorn bucket that I wish that I could fund to get, but I'm not paying $80 for a popcorn bucket. But he's my back issue of the week. My comic book editions video is a Fantastic Four Haul Part 2, and it's 8 Bronze Age books of the FF. So obviously if it's Part 2, there was a Part 1 before that. And before that was 2 weeks of Superman-related hauls, including some Lois Lane books. So you can find that on my channel right now. Sunday night, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 p.m. Central on my channel. Gary B, the special guest this week, reunited,
They're
and it
down
will
the bottom,
feel so
guys. They got
good.
it there.
Yes, we're going to talk for the Retro Review, Rima the Jungle Girl, and we're going to do all 7 issues. So,
Oh my Lord.
yes, we are very excited about tackling that project. We're heading into the jungle this week. And finally, I'll say when it comes to my channel, the road to 1,000 is becoming clearer and clearer because I'm almost at 950. So
Nice.
once you get to the
So
950,
close.
it's kind of that final push.
Yep.
And so if you're not subbed to my channel, would be interested in learning a little bit more about me and my collecting journey, always open to make some new friends.
And then wait till you get to that 1,000 mark and YouTube does what YouTube does. You'll hit 1,001 and go, yes. Then
Yeah,
it'll
and then
drop you back
different one,
down to
yeah.
997.
Yep.
And then you go back up again. And then it drops you back down again. And then you're really mad at YouTube for a while. And then finally it sticks.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, when I hit 1,000, I'll put something up on the wall behind me by popular request. And then when they knock me down to 999, I'll take it off the wall. And then
God.
if they knock me down again, I'll take the nail out.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you again, Gary, for asking me to be on.
Absolutely. Jim, what's coming up for you, buddy?
You know, we actually got some rain today, so I might be going out digging tomorrow. And then this weekend or next weekend, I'll be down in Richmond, and I'm gonna probably do a few shorts. There's this pop-up store, comic store that only pops up once a month. And my brother and I went in July, and they have some killer deals. So I'm thinking I might run in there and see what I can find. They told me to come back next month. They were going to have even better books, which I was amazed at what they had. So, and really, they're really reasonable. So yeah, I'll be probably filming some of that just to get them out there. And yeah, I don't know what's going to be next after that. I am not on the road to 1K. I'm okay with that. But, check out what I have done.
And then let's see. We always go with our guest last. So coming up for me, we have, what was it? Oh, July. So Sara closed out July. Next week, though, we have Mark opening August. And Mark is doing a Frank Frazetta cover, album covers,
Nice.
10/11 next week.
That will be
And
good.
then
Yeah.
we have Candace Barbosa doing an Archie
Candace.
Comics 10/11 on Thursday.
Wow. Nice.
So two great guests. This will be, I think, Candace's fourth time on the channel, or fifth because but she's always a joy. Another passionate one. Mark Andrews, probably one of the best collections that I know of, and just a fountain of knowledge in everything he taught. He brings history. He brings knowledge. Always a pleasure to have Mark on. His collection is immaculate. Like I said, we got a lot of great guests coming up, so stay tuned, guys. And then, Sara, what's coming up for you?
Well, I'm glad to hear Candace Barbosa is coming back because she's a new friend to me. I saw her on the Fanboys one of the weeks I was not on, and she showed some DC Looney Tunes variant covers or a book, which I didn't know they existed. So I immediately went out and I got some, and they absolutely cracked me up. And I'm going to show you one now because that's just how I am.
Yeah, well, we'll make you big.
But this stuff, I mean, it's hysterical. So I bought a bunch of them, and the last couple of days and for the next few days, check out my shorts because I'm doing shorts of some of my favorite books of these.
Nice.
So, and my shorts, I basically do, it's like comic book jukebox. So I do 15 seconds of a cover and I find songs that probably shouldn't go with it, but they do. So, and then I am also looking forward to the Fanboy, Rima of the Jungle, throwdown that we're going to have. And then on Monday, there's a video that will drop about another personal grail. And this is the one that I told these guys the other day. It's like the subtitle is "I was wrong and Gary was right."
That'll get 1 million views.
I know. so that's
not once you put my name in it, it won't.
All right, I won't put your name in it, but we'll just know between us it.
Yeah.
Right. So
no, but that's cool. So I'm kind of curious about that one.
Yeah.
Like this to see what you were wrong about.
I was wrong. Couldn't have been more wrong.
Just in time to get
is this about a modern book, a Bronze Age book, or a silver book?
I don't want to ruin it.
You got to watch the video to see.
You got to watch. No, I'm not. Listen.
Come on, Gary.
We're trying to get a little teaser out there.
Come on, man.
Just in time for her to drop that video for you to continue nominating her for the Comic Book Community Awards, because she doesn't want to be award wishing. She wants to be award winning.
I am award envious, silver-haired Bronze Age babe. So I really want to win one of those Comic Book Community Awards. And so vote for me. I don't care. Any category. You know, the best hands, best facial hair, I'll go with it. Probably like channel or shorts would make the most sense. But and by the way, Magic Lasso and Tony, the Signature King, are also nominees. You know, don't be shy. Vote for them early. Vote for them often. And the Fanboys Live and Retro Review is also nominated. And so I think it would be fantastic, for that. I think there's a category specifically about that kind of stuff. I know Gary's been a nominee before. So, yeah, let's vote for each other.
Now, don't vote for me. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah. Well, good. Vote for me. I want the little piece of plastic. I really want it. Yeah.
See, for me, I just don't care about that stuff.
Neither do I, which is, of course, why I want one. So I want to prove it can be done.
But no, excellent show, Sara. That was fantastic.
Thank you for having me again, Gary. I really appreciate it.
And start picking out those Super Dickory covers.
Got it. I'm on it.
And of course, There's no show without great co-host Jim. Thank you for always being here, buddy. Appreciate you, sir. Ryan, great to have you on twice in a week, guest and host. And same for you, Sarah, guest and host. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now I get to go drag their channel down on Sunday.
Sounds good.
They've hit rock bottom. It can only go up from Sunday. They just needed to restart themselves, and
Not true.
But to the audience watching us, thank you guys so much for joining us live. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the great comments. Glad you guys enjoyed the book. Great to see Lois Lane fans turn out.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. The chat, you guys are fantastic. I truly, it means a lot. So thank you.
And for those of you catching us on the rewind, everyone that's on this panel tonight, their links are in the description below. Go into that description, go sub up Sarah, go sub up Ryan as Magic Lasso, go sub up Digger Jim. Each of them offers something unique on their channel. See which one you gel with the most, and then enjoy all three of them. But as we like to say, and as we like to end these things, we want to say thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep it casual.